This isn't really a video anybody ever wants to have to make, but I feel like I'm compelled to make it, like I must, and this time not because my therapist told me to. I was in the bathroom at the convention center in Omaha. You know the one. I overheard some things at a family reunion. We can call it a family reunion. My family paid to rent a space to get back together after not seeing each other for quite some time. Overheard some things that, frankly, have caused me to stop and question the value of money compared to the value of intangible goods and the value of tangible goods. And I want you to stick with me because these are kind of thorny concepts at first. I'm sure once you wrap your head around it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, how much is an experience worth in money compared to that same amount of money value for tangible goods, I guess is what I'm getting to. And this is through a very particular lens, because at this family reunion in the bathroom, I overheard my nephew talking about his forays on the dark web. He was talking to his cousin. And one of the things that came up was, if you're not from Nebraska, this might not be familiar, but if you're from Nebraska, like we are, you'll know instantly. The chicken picking strangler. He's probably our most famous serial killer. And I don't know why they went with strangler, because this was a guy who would like cook and eat. He'd make like flesh popsicle type things, like not shish kebabs because they weren't cubed. They were like surfboard shape with the flat end, popsicle shape. And I'm getting off track. The chicken picking strangler was more than a strangler. He's a connoisseur of eating, and I shouldn't say was, because he's still in the business. And I know this because my nephew, genius that he is, decided to contact him on the dark web, establish a relationship to the point where they're making offers for exchanges. This is the offer that the chicken picking strangler has made to my nephew. $200 from the chicken picking strangler to my nephew. In exchange, my nephew lets the chicken picking strangler kill and eat him. That, I told him that, how much do you think that $200 is going to get you at that point? And he said, we can get a really nice guitar used in the shops around where I live, Uncle. He's like, oh, from here, it's not the same as the city. I'm like, don't call where I live the city. He's like, compared to where I'm from, it's the city and a half. That's his thing too. He's like, and when he's saying that all the time. Like, I told him this isn't a good idea. He's like, it's a deal and a half. Get me a new guitar and a half. I'm like, okay, you're running that into the ground. He's like, into the ground and a half. I'm like, God, okay, yeah, get the $200, buddy. At this point, I mean, I had been talking to him in that bathroom for maybe 30 seconds before he was talking to me about all this dark web stuff, just as easily and as though this is maybe the third time in my life I've ever spoken to him, and he was 7 and 12 the other times. God, what an idiot. And I know I'm not the only person he told at this family reunion, because his cousin came up to me after that and was like, your nephew's an idiot. I got a way better deal on offer. Can you guys hear me? He said he was an idiot and that he had a way better deal on offer from the chicken picking strangler. But he was like, I got a way better deal on offer from the chicken picking strangler. He was whispering it when he said it to me. And I was like, okay, well, let's hear it. I was like, how much better are we talking? Maybe this guy's a wheeler and a dealer, And he's like, $300. I'm like, oh, $300 to kill and eat you? He's like, no, man, deal's different. $300. I gotta kill and eat half of your nephew. And then I gotta let the chicken picking strangler kill me, eat the other half and the nephew, and then eat the entirety of me. It's like, for $300, you realize it's almost twice as much work as my nephew had to do for 150% of the money, so for 50% more money. That's inefficient. There's a whole like academic area of like maximizing utility and stuff, and I just do not think that anybody. This is not a satisfying decision. I think that I'll say this: the chicken picking strangler, he's a pretty good salesperson. I think if he could get over his lust to kill, cook, and eat the flesh of human beings, he could probably do pretty good in like the telecom industry. I imagine him working for one of the big cable companies and just crushing it and getting new signups. And then, maybe like his last day before retirement, then maybe he eats everyone. So anyway, $300. And I was like, well, what are you going to get? He's like, you know how he said he'd get a guitar and a half for $200? I'm like, yeah, I know he's been saying and a half all day. I can get 2 guitars. And I'm like, damn. Mathematically sound. Really appreciated that. And I know some of you out there are saying it's not mathematically sound. You can get 1 1/3 guitars at the previous listed price. But this is just, these people are from rural Nebraska, and you are judging them so harshly for their lack of ability to do computation that you take for granted. You are being so classist, being so elitist, so snobbish. Every time you're like, I'm right, someone made a mistake, haha, you're being such a jerk. And right now is one of those times. God, I hate to call my audience a jerk, but you know what? I'm not calling my audience a jerk, because I bet 99 people out of every 100 watching this, and there are hundreds, if not thousands, watching this. You all are like perfectly fine. Your responses are empathetic, they're considerate, they don't center you as the star of the world. And so I'm not talking to you. Don't feel judged. You guys are so great. You do so much for this community. Without you, I'm literally just a voice honking in a cardboard box being kicked down the stairs by the giant kicking butt of life. And you saved me from that. And also, I thought the $300 was not fair because of the extra amount of work. But I didn't voice this because I'm not really that close of friends with my my cousin's nephew, or my nephew's cousin. But that's when we get to the real crux of it, because that's when my nephew's cousin's friend's cousin's nephew came in, and he had his own deal with the guy, and his deal was the most extensive of all. And I honestly think he might want to take this one. His deal was that he had to kill my nephew after making him kill my nephew's cousin. Then my nephew's cousin's friend was going to make my nephew's cousin's friend's nephew kill his brother, his uncle, and his stepson while making his aunt watch. Then watch his aunt while he makes her kill his nephew, uncle, and cousin, excluding his cousin's uncle's nephew, who would already be dead under this regime. At that point, he was to kill and eat half of every single person mentioned, and then make the last person who he hadn't killed kill him, eat half of him, then kill themselves. At which point the chicken picking strangler would come in, eat the other half of everybody, and then eat the last person. And I said, that is a lot of work. What's he offered you? $400? And he said, no, he offered to put me through dental school. And I thought, that seems worth it. That could change your life. Let him eat you and then go through dental school. It might be hard. Every bite he takes of you, you're going to think, oh, I'm doing this for the teeth. And then they can identify you through your teeth.